So we've been sitting for a long time. This is going to sound a little bit weird, but I'd like everybody to get up out of your chairs. Just kind of stretch out, put your hands up over your head, look up like this, and then just lean all the way back like that. And then lean forward like this and go, ah. And then just start to bump into the person next to you. You can do it. Don't hurt anyone. But everybody, turn this direction and start to massage the person in front of you. Yeah, that's right. You deserve it. I don't know you, but you deserve it. Now you should moan. I should hear moaning. And everybody chop it out like this. Everybody chop it out like that. Chop it out. And everybody go, Good. Now turn the opposite direction and continue the train. It's okay. All right, chop it out. Okay, you can sit down. That was fun.
Nice. Sit back down.
Yeah, you can sit down.
That's your tongue.
Most people don't change. I mean, they won't change. I mean, they can change, but usually they don't change. I find it so strange. People just continue to repeat the same pattern, like the consequences of them doesn't matter when they do. What if God put a magnifying glass over you, over me, over everything we see, and this world is an experiment for your soul to survive, separated from our infinite whole? I wouldn't know joy unless I knew pain. I'm looking for a new way to say the same old thing. They say the same old thing and then expect a different response. It's hard to explain. I guess your heart wants what it wants. I used to think there was a right and a wrong. Now I know that I was wrong, so I write, darkness is a form of light. I used to think that I was mad at you. I was really mad at me, but in retrospect, that's how it had to be. I used to think I knew some shit. Now I know I don't know shit. But at least I know enough shit to know I don't know shit. I'm a hitchhiking ghost trying to find his way home. Every mistake that I make, I put inside of a poem. She wants to change her man, but she's focused on her man. She should focus on herself, rearrange her mental health. He wants to change his girl, but he's focused on his girl. He should focus on himself, rearrange his mental health. We want to change the world, but we're focused on the world. We should focus on ourselves. Why do I repeat myself? Everybody's superpower doubles as their kryptonite. I think too much to sleep at night, but that's what makes me rip the mic. I tried to point the finger, but I saw myself in your eyes. There is a reflection of perfection that is hard to deny. See, every cloud is separated, but a part of the same sky, like every baby is created at the start of the same lie. Heaven and hell are in the same place. We just get there differently. At the end of our journey, there is simply symphony. Thank you. Do you guys have El Pollo Loco in Vegas? Yeah? So one time, I was coming out of El Pollo Loco, and there was a homeless guy. And he was sitting down, and he said, "Hey, man, do you have any change?" And I said, "No, I don't have any change, but I have this rice that's left over from my meal. Do you want my rice?" This is a true story. And he looked at me and goes, "No, that's cool, man. I don't eat carbohydrates." And I thought, only in LA. And then I thought, only in America. I've got a crystal house for my missile mind that locks onto the things I wish were defined. In a blanket of stars, or a ripple of time where we get to stop, pause, fast forward, or rewind. See, we are all going nowhere So I became a nomad with no cares, a notepad scribbling soothsayer, a truth slayer with a pen as a sword, swinging a cyclone simile, the same as before. See, I am trouble devised, inside a subtle disguise, in a fake little bubble with a city inside. It's all marketing lies. When 5 guys in a high-rise decide to supersize my fries, so now I've got an ass that is big enough to ride, and I could start a fire from the friction in my thighs. I'm sitting on my Velcro couch with a chicken pot pie and a cell phone pouch and a flat screen life like, hey, oh, I'm about to buy a bunch of shit that I don't need. What? I got a credit card. I could afford these. I'm gonna get a better car. I'm gonna get a bigger house. I'm gonna get an iPhone. I'm gonna get a leather couch. I get a gym membership that I won't use. I'm gonna pop prescription pills and drink booze. I'm gonna cap my girl fake boobs. I'm gonna get a pair of baby alligator shoes and a 3-piece suit. I'm a legend in my own mind. I vote in the election, but I work in the coal mines. I got a fat gut and a George Foreman grill. I got a MacBook loading up my acting reel. I got a pool that I never clean. I'll take a Hummer limousine to the Evergreens, hunt with an M16 and kill everything. I got a barbed wire tattoo because that shit looks menacing. I leave the house with the lights on. My favorite part of the day is feeding mice to my python. I don't believe global warming exists. It's a myth. Scientists have invented the shit. And I admit there's some climate differences, but that's it. It's just a normal planetary shift. Dude, get a grip. I drive a Mustang, so my mustache is a must-have. I wear a musk that is made from a muskrat's nutsack. I have a Snuggie, 2 pending lawsuits, and a daughter that is thin enough to hula hoop a Fruit Loop. I pick up my wife's dog's Pomeranian poop. My therapist has a therapist, so it's like a whole support group. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm getting at? See, I'm pro-life and I'm pro-death penalty, and essentially the pressure has been messing with me mentally. God, tell me what to do. I know that no one can be as hypocritical as you. Isn't that true? We should get some new shoes. Let's hit the mall, y'all. Shop until we feel used. I want it all. Call Janie. Tell her where we are. Well, fuck it. She can just record it on her DVR. I'll text her from the car. But bring me Xanax, because Amber's dating Xander, and it's making me all manic. I saw them at the Standard getting hammered, and I panicked. I just don't understand it. He's taking me for granted. I haven't felt this bad since I saw the Titanic. And to be perfectly candid, I can barely stand it. I want to cry, and I don't know why. I want to die, but instead I go to the club and hide. I'll do anything to distract me from me. I just want to be the people that I see on TV. I'm the land of the brave and the almost free. I'm America, and I'm beautiful as can be. Thank you. You guys having fun? Say yeah?
Yeah.
This was an amazing, amazing event, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was like literally awesome from beginning to end, and I was very inspired by the other speakers. So it's a blessing to be here. This is a true story. This one time, I saw a dude who worked for Vons collecting stacks of shopping carts in the parking lot with only one arm. Now, I should say that on this particular day, I had been feeling down about myself, depressed about some stupid shit, complaining in my head that I'm not as far along as I would like to be, that life is victimizing me, and mind you, I was buying food at the time to put into my car, to put into my house, to put into my fridge, to put into my mouth. And that's when I saw him, 10 carts deep, pushing them with one arm down the street, whistling. Now, I swear he was whistling, Do you know how happy I would have to be to spontaneously pucker up my lips like I was about to blow a kiss, then open up a bit and push some air from my esophagus into a higher pitch? Shit, really freaking happy. I mean, totally ecstatic. I would have had to have just had a three-way with Scarlett Johansson and Rachel McAdams, where both of them had orgasms as they screamed out, "Adam is the best we've ever had." Then at that point, I would whistle. I mean, at that point, I'd probably dance around a little. Anyway, back to this dude. First thought I had, I'll admit, was a bit rude, but hear me out before you boo. See, I was confused, because if I was in his shoes and I had to choose a job, this would not be the job I'd choose. And I know that sounds hardcore, but honestly, this is one job that I would want two arms for. Now, that being said, this dude was a mother-freaking gangster. The arm he had looked like it was strong enough to be the anchor on an oil tanker, like he could have been Arnold Schwarzenegger's trainer back when he was starring in The Terminators, and it woke me up like the scent from a cup of Sanka, so I went home and wrote this poem as an ode to thank him. See, it really got me thinking about my situation. Why the am I complaining? This world is full of people maintaining. No matter who you are or where you're from, we all have to wake up every day and ignore the fact that we don't know where we'll go or why we've come, and that can cause confusion. So we distract ourselves with movies and with music and focus on amusement instead of self-improvement, a mutually agreed upon collective delusion. With this much stimulus and this little understanding, it's no wonder we don't all just completely lose it. See, genius and insanity are closer than they seem. Your perspective is the difference between your nightmares and your dreams. Because if everything is energy and my body is a vessel, then my struggle is unique, but that doesn't make it special. And this mother had the balls to up and whistle with a fistful of shopping carts that he guided like a missile, and it blew me away like a sneeze into a tissue that someone who has seemingly so many issues could be unequivocally so blissful, while someone who's as lucky as I am could be self-creating problems by the listful. Well, I guess that's my process. But when it gets indulgent, it borders on obnoxious, insulting, and repulsive. So from this point on, if my thoughts start thinking that they're important, or my feelings start feeling too distorted, I'm going to sort them into categories to see if I can change them. If I can, I'll simply make the moves to rearrange them. If I can't, I'll acknowledge them, but won't engage them. Look them square into their eyes, smile while I face them, and do that shit with me. Thank you. Should I end it or should I do one more? Okay. So my name is Adam Schmalholz. I go by NQ, and it's short for inquiry. And I'm once again really grateful to be in front of you guys. You guys have been an awesome audience. I went to a psychic recently. I told my friend about this earlier tonight. And I was kind of distraught when I went in. And by the way, she was vetted. Like I knew she was like the real deal. So I go in. She says, "Do you want a cup of tea?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would love a cup of tea." She makes me the cup of tea. She brings it back. She puts it in front of me. And she says, "You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And this is a spiritual being having a tea experience. And it's a miracle. And it's here for you. And your problem is you don't look at your life like that." They say God doesn't make mistakes. He makes trees and leaves and skies and lakes, birds and bees, seas, and even the snakes, the sun, moon, and the stars, alleys, bars, cars passing in the dark echo like my breaking heart. You can hear them in the distance. You can feel it in your soul. You've got to break yourself apart if you want to be whole. I'm in this hole, but I'm crawling towards the light by free falling into my hindsight. The thing about a lesson is you can't apply it to your past. Life isn't as simple as it seems in my photographs. Love isn't something that you feel. It's something that you do. Every single moment is a miracle that can redefine you. Every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise. You can tell I've gone through it by this look in my eyes. This is not just an idea that I read in a book. I am opening my chest up and I am daring you to look. Are you scared of the mirror that you see in my face? Switch a couple details, you could be in my place, drowning in tears of joy from the rush of a battle. See, I killed off my ego, but my regret has a shadow, and I'm proud of my progress. The process is magic. Some of us are still slaves to our old habits, responding automatically because that's what we're used to. But if there wasn't a choice, your actions have used you. What if you're the puppet and the puppeteer? This is your life, and this is your wife, and this is your career. This is your pain. This is your shame. And these are your tears. And this is your brain that's had to maintain through the years. See, this is reality. But you define what you see. See, your reality may not seem the same to me. You think you have control? Baby, this is make-believe. Your power is in your response, so don't forget to. I have tattooed forgive on the insides of my eyelids, so when I blink, I could be reminded that God doesn't make mistakes. He makes waves that break shores and shapes of clouds, faceless crowds. I'm walking through them like a hologram, just another case of me filling up the space in this hollow man. I've been asleep for my whole life. Now I'm wide awake and I can spot a nightmare through the daylight. See, rage is alive and well. We are inside of hell when we rely on the lies we provide ourselves. I see it in the streets every day. People are unhappy with themselves in almost every way, yet they walk around like they've got it all figured out. This is not what you're about. You just think you're supposed to take a certain route, and I understand it because I've been there in the past, but does everybody have to walk around with a freaking mask? I want to see you in the light of God. You see, I'm tired of making love to the same mirage, and my heart is big enough to fit the whole world in it. But I had to lose to learn my love was infinite. They say God doesn't make mistakes. He makes truth. And he put it in a body. And he bottled it in your youth. And it is still inside of you, whether you know it or not. We are perfect right now. We should own what we've got. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you listening. Appreciate it.